a good idea, because I have two systems running in this setup, plus game consoles, plus multiple camera angles. And so my base canvas resolution of my monitor on my streaming PC here is 4K. I also have 4K inputs from my game consoles, the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. But then my gaming PC input is 1440p. And then my main webcam input here that you're seeing here is 4K. But the only 1080p source I have is the camera that I usually have mounted up for my gaming PC. But pretty much everything is 4K or 1440p. The only common denominator of 4K and 1440p is 720p. That's the only resolution that scales into both of them, so it is the best resolution choice for getting clean scaling from both of these sets of resolutions at one time. Now, the gaming webcam doesn't do that, but the gaming webcam doesn't usually show full screen anyway, so it's not a big deal, and I can technically run it at 720p, I just choose not to. So that's the first advantage, is to keep everything scaled evenly, so either you keep it at the same resolution or you keep it at a common denominator of your resolutions to keep everything scaled evenly and make your life a lot easier, because now I don't have to worry about scaling my different sources on different directions. I just have one scaling filter and one resolution and don't have to worry about it. But the second factor involved in this is actually your performance. Because, as I mentioned, all of this has to render and composite on your graphics card, and much like your game's resolution or a video's resolution, the lower it is, the more performance you're going to get. So if you're already delivering to 720p to Twitch or YouTube or whatever anyway, keeping everything rendered at 720p is going to make your graphics card have a whole lot less to work with and have an easier time. And there are some people who could only do 1080p 30, even just from rendering standpoint, but 720p can help them get up to 60 even for encoding, and there's a push and pull, and there's no easy way to get like direct metrics with regards to performance on this, but it is very helpful in terms of performance as well. A situation where you might notice performance, having issues with regards to the render resolution are when there's sudden spikes in additional load. So for example, stinger transitions or playing video clips or something like that, or something that is new to your scene and a pop-up alert that's high resolution or something. The higher resolution your canvas is, sudden changes or sudden intensity load shifts, even if you're not using 100% of your GPU for OBS, because that doesn't make any sense. And actually, if I pull up my OBS window, or my task manager, you can see here, between my two OBS instances I have running to record this, I'm using 15% of my 1080 Ti. That is a 1080 Ti though. And actually, if you count the video encode percentage, it's 34%.
Okay, I'm just going to run it
but
like
for
this
actual
today,
GPU load, it's 16% here, which is 17% now, which is a fairly significant amount of processing power when you consider that I'm on such a high, power graphics card. So you got two factors, scaling and performance load. And I really think you kind of need to test and fine tune. And if it works at 1080p or whatever, your 1440p, and scaled to 720p, and that works best for you, go right ahead. That's fine. Don't question it too much. But if you're having weird performance issues specifically relating to rendering lag or your graphics card, rendering lag is the graphics card, whereas encoding lag is whatever processor you choose. So NVIDIA or X264 or whatever. So if you're specifically having rendering lag issues where it's just not quite where you want it to be, consider lowering your base canvas resolution. It might help you out. Hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully that clarifies a bit for the rest of you, because it was something I realized I haven't really talked about in depth, and I certainly wanted to. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more tech education, which does extend past OBS videos, believe it or not. I'm EvilsVox, here to make tech easier and more fun. I'll see you in the next one. Go check out all my other OBS videos from this week if you missed them.
Are you new to OBS and possibly wondering what is going on with the layouts? What are all these settings, and how do I optimize this program to run the best that it can for recording or streaming or whichever purpose you plan on using it for? Or maybe you are somewhat used to using OBS and you just want to know what some other features are for a little while, and you want to know what certain settings are or how to better use the program. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and play a small little clip that will show you the different timestamps for the information that we cover in certain sections, and feel free to check the description out as well for the timestamps.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure this out.
For yourself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright guys, so getting started with basic OBS information, and that is, what version and iteration of OBS we're using. So we're using vanilla OBS version 25.0.8. There are